got this Laura building, and I want to stick this in the community. And the premise to me is pretty, I like it a lot, which is that by using my granular crust, the span is capable of generating, instead of saying holding the floors, generating large spaces free from culinary interference. I can embed that inside an older building, so the aesthetic of my new buildings will be at odds. They'll join to each other by the way I cleverly organize spatial excavations, because I've got this big variable hold this shit up like this. Less about I'm on the floor or I'm holding it away, which should be about a spatial idea. And then the sauntering idea of that long, endless ramp, you know, if it went up and went in, up, then came back out, went up, that's sauntering. And then you would be engaging spatial ideas laterally as you proceeded vertically. The one great mistake was camouflaged in much more thoughtfulness, because I could read into the plans. I would like to give you crap if I could draw, because I can't. I think the opportunity to express those three tiers and make them do more work than your idea was to hide it. And it looks like a plain wall, and it's not interesting at all. And the top is that white belt that goes around like a tumbler. That's supposed to be the tofu between the two meals that you've got going. And said what goes together is the way the reading of the volume of space might be in your building will be enough to connect them. I don't think you need this gap.
That's great. You hit on the right thing, because John had that as a strategy. That really was exactly what you said was a strategy. To go from one to the other was too extreme to begin with. And there was always this, I don't remember, there was always a solid zone, a tabletop almost. Really as an aesthetic device, as a way to
mediate between the two?
End one and begin another.
I think it hides the dialogue. Hides the dialogue that makes it interesting. Sometimes when the old and new are slammed against each other, some of the most, like some of the best spaces in libraries are the ones where they take the old, they add to it right, they leave the exterior wall becomes an interior surface. Yeah. And it has this marvelous power. So I would have ripped that apart.
I agree with that. I think if they don't need to mediate, I think it's obscuring the power of the juxtaposition.
And that's right. When you look at Frontwood Wright's plans next time, you get a picture book of it. One of the telltales is that the larger the footprint of the columns, the taller the dome. So the smaller they get in plan, the shorter they are. And it's really logical. It's unbelievable. It reaches its apex and falling over. After that, he goes kind of down. But you'll see he lets stuff move around those piers. He never butts them up against the wall. And you would like to treat them as spatial generators, not just a surface no more important than the sidewalls. If I look at the shape of the rooms, the spaces, and it's kind of the dog, and does that. Pop that out and let stuff go around it. If I would make that in columns or something.
But also, you could accept responsibility for how structure really works. There's columns connected to beams, and so when you put in these piers, you're disconnecting the beams, but your plans imply that the floors are still there, and we don't know what's holding anything up. And it might be a result of experience, but the reality of what you're doing is such a massive intervention that you would really be rebuilding everything inside that practically. So if you're going to rebuild, why rebuild it that's so similar to what's there? Just looking at this, I mean, Kelly wants us to be free, and I agree that I want to see it, but there's columns attached to beams, which I don't even know how you do that in real life.
I think it's complicated because looking at this really looking for the values is really trying to explore what's growing. Some of them are present with the models of housing sections, and you could really make them more visible and take big benefit of your work. any idea of people moving inside the mall. So nothing from that. We don't have any explanation. We have to imagine how interesting can be to have this relation with the existing buildings and slowly abandon it. Experience that second is this contrast and this dialogue between the past and the future, between some constructive practices already there and the new ones. That we identify that you have some translucent materials in the models, and you have some white elements which apparently are lighter, but the sections have some richness, spatial diversity. But this homogeneous way of this monotony is really breaking it. And perhaps because you are also giving too much importance to the structure, and structure not always structures the building. No? So perhaps this building is more structurized by the circulation system than by the columns, no? Or the big resistant wall. No? The resistant elements sometimes, no? More in the past. In nowadays, more and more times, the structure is not the protagonist in that terms. No? Of course, you can obtain the importance of your different. But in your case, it's more related to other architectural questions. No? So yeah, it's too much. I think about the structure, and it's like it's the solution of to a problem that you have invented, basically. You know? But there are other elements, you know, that are giving more positive comments. Who could get more positive comments?
All right, we